What is up, YouTube? It's Dear coming to you with another video, and today I want to talk about, could it be possible that God and the devil in the Bible can stand for black and white? In my last video, I mentioned how Mardi Gras is the day before Ash Wednesday, and how it was originally meant for people to purify themselves through confession. And Mardi Gras is a festival or a parade, right? What if that mean? What if this was the Last Supper? Because what if this is what the Last Supper was? I say this because what if the 12 disciples are just the 12 tribes of Israel? Each leader or each person represents each house, tribe, or land. And also, this is where Judas confessed to betraying Jesus. And the whole reason for Mardi Gras is to be purified through confession. And Judas confessed to his to betraying Jesus. I also believe the 12 disciples were a political party, like the Black Panther, kind of, because they wanted to return to the natural way of living. Because the white man goal was to keep us from reaching political and government power in other high places, to keep us in a low mind state. Jesus went around preaching and saying, don't follow the way of the world, but follow the way of my Father. In my last video, I also mentioned that is it possible that black people also came from a star called Sirius B? That's why they call the stars throughout the Bible. And they describe people with wings, and even mention a sight of a flaming chariot in the sky. It could possibly be a UFO. He said, follow the law of his father. Well, we all have heard of the founding fathers, and the U.S. loves to praise them, and we follow the constitutional law that our founding fathers created. What if Jesus was saying, this is the law of my founding fathers, and the one and true, his ancestors, because we are the true chosen ones, and we need to follow their way of living, not the way of the world, which is the white man's. Also, Jesus healed people the natural way using herbs or in Reiki healing. This was free of charge. In the early 1900s, they invented medicine. This is where they made artificial vitamin A, C, B, B1, B2, biotin, and other essential vitamins. Artificial means fake. So this medicine they created for us makes our body stop producing the natural cures to heal it on its own, and makes us start producing the artificial medicine. So our body will then stop producing the natural and produce more of the fake, causing us to require the medicine again if we stop using it, because our body now depends on it. Also, John D. Rockefeller changed the medical field from natural healing to pharmaceutical, because at first the doctors were practicing natural healing from the Native Americans until they changed it. He said he wanted a nation of thinkers. He said he wanted a nation of workers, not thinkers. And look where we are today. Look how much money they would lose if we went back to natural healing, because everything comes off the land. You could literally walk outside and heal yourself. For instance, chamomile is a plant that grows in your front yard, but they describe it as a weed. But it helps with indigestion, diarrhea, anorexia, motion sickness, vomiting, nausea. But they tell you, hey, don't let this plant be in your yard because it's a weed, and weeds kill your good plants. It also has been used to treat fevers in children. They have a tea that you can buy at your local grocery store along with other great teas to help your body as well. I was listening to this gospel song that says, I'm reaping the harvest that God promised me. Take back what the devil has stole from me. What did God promise us? Land. And what has been taken from us? Our land. And by who? So what if the Bible is just another Roman mythology? Yes, I said Roman mythology because it benefits the Roman Catholic Church the most. It is put in their favor and curated to make them look like the angels and God. Think about it. We also had to call them Lord back in the day, and that is also mentioned in the Bible. So is this just another form of white supremacy? Remember how I said all the rules and laws in the Bible are society's biggest problems now? Women must obey men. Women have to fight for their rights. Homosexuality, to drive you away from following your heart. And if you can't follow your heart, or if it's hard for you to follow your heart, it's hard for you to follow your passion and your dreams, because your heart fuels your passion and your dreams. Your true passion and your dreams come from your heart. That's why Jesus was so big on the Sacred Heart. And also, we didn't have slavery with the pharaohs, and then black people was as slaves, and then the whites were the slave masters during our modern time. And all these things are meant to keep us separated from following our heart and from being our true selves. Because we are trying to please and follow another person's belief. Like in life, when your relationship with God should be between you and them. A relationship is between two people. The only people that needs to know what happens in a relationship is you and the other person. And the relationship is based off y'all life or y'all's world. Not the people on the outside or friends on the outside of the relationship, because they won't understand something that doesn't involve them. So why would you add another voice into your relationship unless you wanted to expect problems and disagreements? So why would you add another voice into your relationship with God? If you feel like you should talk to someone else about how someone made you feel and y'all supposed to be in a relationship, at that point you might as well be single or leave the relationship, because at this point you're talking down or allowing someone else's judgment to cloud how you feel about that person. And that could be completely different from how it happened or what really happened or experienced between you and the person, because the person on the outside is just looking in. So this can cause you to walk further away from the real true solution and become closer to the outside opinion that has nothing to do with the real problem. Because now you have left your own world to go live in someone else. Another reason why Jesus said don't be of the world but be of the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is within you. So that means all you need is you. Also, they painted a picture that good and evil represents black and white. Black being evil, white being good. Yin yang, like the yin yang symbol. But look at this. Black people are painted the same way. Even our culture. Hoodoo, voodoo, natural healing, and African spirituality. Then you have the white people, or the good guys, the angels and saints. But they say we need bad to balance evil. But what if we only needed the bad to know what the good was, and we can choose what we wanted to experience? Some people live good lives while others live bad. But it wasn't meant to stay like this. It's very much possible to have only good things, but only if you're aware of the bad. You have to be aware of the bad so you can remove them. That's why we were meant to learn from our mistakes, not repeat them. We can live in harmony together. We just have to remove the color and realize we all live here and we all need the same thing to survive. You don't see one group of people breathing water and another group breathing air. So we are all people are the same. So we are all the same. You wouldn't compare yourself to a fish and say I'm better than it, because you know that's an animal. But humans are under the same category. They don't have each race on the food chain. So why do we identify differently as humans? Let's all be humans and live together. And also the Bible promotes wine, but it says it's bad and can cause drunkenness. So why would Jesus and his people drink something that can poison his body after a certain amount? He would avoid it completely. But look how alcohol addiction is the biggest problem in the black community today. Because people believe alcohol and drinking can solve your problem and your pain, but it's only temporary, because instead of feeling that pain, you're feeling other low vibrational energies that come from negative energies. That's what they call alcohol spirits. I have a YouTube video on how alcohol ruins your spiritual nature. I also wanted to mention Noah and the flood. In my last video, I talked about the story of the fallen angels and how God wanted to destroy them and recreate the earth. Well, I discussed how the fallen angels represent us, and how the angels came to black people and mixed with the races, so God sent the flood. Check this out. In Georgia, there's a lake called Lake Lanier. Under that lake, there's a small black town where the first black Wall Street was established, or the black first city where black owned everything was, and now it's underwater. And who did this? The white folks. At the time, they saw us doing great and flooded the town with water. and now the town's underwater. At the same time, the fallen angels taught knowledge and life. In the video, I go into details about other things, and that what was mentioned as well. In the video, I go into deeper detail about the fallen angels and everything, but think about why they call them fallen. If they came from a place of heaven, I mean, heaven is a high place, right? So think about how far we fell. We came from owning the land, having black everything, until now we work the land. We work for our land. So we fell from a place of royalty to a place of servants, so fallen angels. So that's why I also believe why they call them fallen angels, and fallen angels represent black people as well. Well, back to Noah. And so after the flood happened, Noah was the only family chosen to survive. In the book of Enoch, Noah was born white as snow, and his eyes was red as fire. His father was scared of him because he looked like the people who were causing wickedness in the land. If he looked like a white person and had red eyes, and he looked like the people who cause wickedness in the land, who do y'all think he's talking about? And then think about this too. The book of Enoch is also removed from the Bible. That's why I have to say, like, it's good to study the Bible, but make sure y'all study resources and everything outside of the Bible too, because you can't have a Bible and say, yeah, this goes into the Bible too, but we just took it out. So if you want to read the Bible, make sure you read the books that were taken out the Bible as well, so you can get a better understanding of what's going on in the Bible. And that book is called the Apocrypha. But back to Noah. As Noah was described as the people who was causing wickedness to the land, and Noah was described as a white person, and the plan was to kill all the fallen angels, and the fallen angels were the black people because they mixed with the race. And the law changed until Moses came to deliver people from enslavement. And then another law was created. So think about all this. Tie it in together and think about, like, dog, okay then. If nowadays they segregated, whites only, blacks only, white only can do this, black only can do this. Y'all, this probably has been going on for longer than we think. And we just not aware of it, but we have to become aware of our mistakes, aware of where we went wrong in order to fix it. And the last thing I want to touch on is Santa Claus. We all know that he is painted as a big white guy who came through people's chimney at night when nobody can see him do it. But he's supposed to be a secret, but yet everyone knows who he is. And how would he fit in there in the first place? Have you ever seen a big man with a big bag go down the chimney and not get stuck? And how would he not make noises when he hit the floor through the chimney? So come on, y'all. And they also say Jesus is the real reason for the season, not because Jesus was born at the time. Just think about it. It's because Jesus brought gifts of healing, wisdom, and teaching, and the government at the time didn't like it. Jesus was a threat to Pilate, aka the Pope, or aka the Roman Catholic Church. So what better time to work at night so no one can see you? Only the people who are meant or needed to see you saw you. Because in the daytime, everyone could see. And that's why they say ghosts come out at night, because you can't see a ghost, right? And you can't see a black person in the dark unless you only see their eyes and teeth. So why do you think they black-faced us originally with the black face, the white circle around our cheeks and lips and our eyes? Because we also worked with nature at nighttime too. We lived off the land. We're in tune with nature. So we had powers. We were able to make supernatural things happen. So that's where they get all these things called from. So they probably thought they were like invisible spirits. I'm going to put a picture of the cartoon so y'all can see why. So that's why sometimes when you bless people, it's best to bless them in the dark instead of the light, because you never know who might be jealous or envy. Also, Jesus used the moon as healing powers. That's why some people believe in moon magic, because Jesus used it, along with countless of his other ancestors. It wasn't just Jesus who had these powers, but if Jesus and each disciple represents a tribe of Israel, we all have these same gifts and powers. We just need to wake up and remember who we are. Thank you for taking time out your day to watch this video. I hope this is a great video, and I'm so grateful for all the support and love I get. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I would love to see how y'all felt about this. Thank you.